What's up YouTube? This is going to be our guide on how to use Decidueye Hisuian in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, make sure you leave it below in the comment section and hit the like button if you enjoy the videos and you want to support this series, and let's get into it. So, Decidueye Hisuian has some pretty interesting stats, and it's got a really powerful signature move. So let's have a look at it. So, its attack stat, its best stat is 112. After that, it kind of gets lower. So, we've got a very bad speed stat of 60. Not a bad health stat, and okay bulk all around. But apart from that, that's kind of it, you know, it's nothing really tremendous. So the best set that I could possibly think of here to start off with would be a Choice Band or a Choice Scarf set. So mainly looking at its signature move here, Triple Arrows. So we've got Triple Arrows is a fighting type move. It's physical. We've got 90 base power, 100% accuracy, which is very good. The thing about it has a high chance of a crit, and it's also got a 50% chance of dropping the opponent's defense by one stage and a 30% chance of flinch. So that is a wild move for sure. Definitely really good if you're going first, but since it's not a very fast Pokemon, I don't see it going first a lot of the time. So my first sort of strategy is going to be looking at a Choice Band set or a Choice Scarf set. So first one, we'll have a look at the Choice Band. For the Choice Scarf set, I will be adjusting the EV spread. Now, let's have a look at the abilities. We've got Overgrow and Scrappy. Scrappy is a very good ability, especially for the fighting type moves there. So we're going to be able to hit those ghosts, and we're also immune to Intimidate, which is great for a physical attacker for sure. The moves I've given it are Triple Arrows, of course. We've got Leaf Blade, another high critting move. You can go between either Knockoff or Sucker Punch. For a Choice Band set and the EV spread I've given it, you can go for Sucker Punch for sure, and I've given it U-Turn, so that's great for momentum and good for coverage and just for getting the heck out of there if you really need to fast. Now, as for Sucker Punch and Knockoff, you can sort of choose what you like. I sort of like having Sucker Punch on this slower set that I built. So the EV spread here we got is max health and max attack. It actually gets some pretty nice health with max health there, and we've got 112 base and attack and Adam Nature. So that's going to give us a lot of, well, the most we can get out of this attack set. It's not that high though. It sort of still struggles with damage. That's definitely the thing about the Decidueye. So with that Choice Band attached, it is going to hit very hard, and not too many things can swap into it that easily. However, it does get worn down a fair bit, and obviously you've got stuff like flying types coming in, a lot being grass and fighting. So I've given it Terra type Steel. I feel like this is the best Terra you can give it because it's just so weak to that move. You could also give it, Dark. Terra Dark, that would be okay too if you wanted that boost in Sucker Punch or Knockoff. You could give it Terra Fighting as well if you want more base power out of Triple Arrows. That's definitely an option there. If you got something on your team to swap into flying type moves, which isn't too hard, it's a steel type, a rock type, stuff like that, that could definitely be helpful. But I feel like Steel's like really good for this, just for immunities. The only bad thing is fire. So if you are Terra type Steel, you can still be hit by fire. So maybe another good one to get around all those types of things could be rock. I was thinking that could be a good one too. So there's a couple of Terra types there that it could be useful. It also depends what you've got on your team as well, like your other 5 Pokemon. Do you have Pokemon to swap in for these types, you know, flying types, fire types, stuff like that? Because obviously if you do, you can work its Terra type a little bit better than that. Now, I like the Choice Band with max health and max attack. You could give it max speed. Now, when you look at that, that's dreadful in speed. Like, let's say I gave it Jolly. It's still pretty dreadful, so I don't know. I feel like the bulky set could work with a Choice Band, but if you want a Scarf set, that could actually be reasonable in speed. Not actually the greatest, but it's still like reasonable. So with Jolly Nature and Choice Scarf, let's change that item up there. You do reach a decent speed stat, but the thing about that is when you drop Adamant, it's going to be slow. And then if you want to put Adamant back on there, you know, your speed is terrible. You absolutely need Jolly Nature there if you want to run this as a Scarf set. That's one thing about this Pokemon. It's got an amazing signature move, which is really, really good. A great ability, but apart from that, it isn't the greatest Pokemon in the world, in my opinion. It's not terrible. It's not amazing. It's sort of like in the middle. So I don't see it getting like tons and tons of like usage or seeing it much online in your battles and stuff like that. But yeah, it doesn't have anything amazing outside that signature and ability, but it can definitely be a viable Choice Band or Choice Scarf Pokemon, whatever way you want to use it. Now, the next set I've got here is making use of the move Sword Dance. It can run this, and it actually has a way to boost its speed too. So let's have a look at these EVs for starters. So we've got Max Attack and Max Speed, Jolly Nature. Now, the reason I gave it Jolly Nature is because you've got Sword Dance. You're already going to be boosting your attack there, so you don't need any more attack. Now, it does get Trail Blaze, which is a good move for boosting your speed. And, you know, with 50 base power, it's going to be hitting for a bit of damage there. Nothing like super, super amazing, though. We've got Triple Arrows, of course. I mean, most physical sets, well, all physical sets would be having Triple Arrows on there. It's such a great move. Like, I can't believe it's got a crit chance, like the same thing as like Razor Shell, and it's also got a flinch too. It's absolutely insane. Like, if this Pokemon was faster, oh man, it would be like really, really good. Anyway, so I've given this one heavy duty boots because of course on a sweeping set and you want it to increase its speed and stuff like that, you don't want it to be affected by any entry hazards. So heavy duty boots is going to be a great item there. Same with Scrappy, you're going to be keeping that. Overgrow is... There's really no point to running that at all. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze in. It's really only going to be good for meme sets and stuff like that. So I will cover Overgrow, though, in this video. I like to cover all different sorts of sets, not only the competitive ones. So Sword Dance Blaze. I don't know why I called it Blaze for. Oh, sorry. Sword Dance Trailblaze. Okay. I did these. I actually made these movesets up the other day. I haven't only got time to do it now. So as for Terra type, I've given this Ghost. I don't think it's a bad Terra type. So you actually would be able to go for Terra Blast Ghost on any Psychic type Pokemon, which is another sort of threatening type. But once again, all the ones I mentioned there are going to be great for it. Like Steel, you've got Rock. You could have Terra Blast Rock on there too. Or just have the Terra, and then have this as knockoff. That could be good too. You could just have it like... You could have Terra Dark. That's another one too. Terra Dark, if you want to have that boosted power, for sure. That wouldn't be all that bad because you could get it around Psychic that way. It's not actually that bad. You're still going to take damage, of course, from Flying Move. At least it's going to be neutral, not 4 times super effective. But there you go. So another option to run with Decidueye Hisuian. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it a sweeper and have it a chance of being able to get those speed boosts. Any sticky web support would be very, very good for this style of Pokemon because, you know, 60 base speed is very, very slow. I just wish it... That's why I like to run... That's what sort of why I went back to the set having Sucker Punch on there. Sucker Punch is easily worked around, but it's good surprise if you can get it to work on that Psychic Pokemon, on that Flying Pokemon incoming, you know, when they've got a little bit of health. It's good to get around that. So you can sort of decide what you like there. It does get some other physical moves stuff. I will go over all its moves and stuff in this video, but I feel like that's a pretty viable set there if you want to run Sword Dance on this Pokemon. And whatever Terra you got, depending on what you like and that sort of thing. Now, the Decidueye does have quite a little bit of a niche here, being a support Pokemon. So I feel like it could somewhat work as a defensive wall. So, of course, we're going to keep Triple Arrows on there just as a move for it to use. We've got Roost, which is good. It also has Defog, which is a great move there, clearing that terrain. And it also gets Tailwind. So why not use it as a support Pokemon? I've given this Scrappy, of course, and Rocky Helmet as a item there. So sort of deter any physical moves and just help for a little bit of extra damage. Max Health, Max Defense, Impish Nature. And, you know, Grass types do work reasonably well as defensive walls. So I felt like this could absolutely work if you wanted to. Now, I've given this one Terra Steel, because you know a flying move is probably coming your way. So you could definitely have Terra Steel. Or if you just want to go, you could go Terra Fighting, or Terra Normal. That could be another one too. Like, I was thinking like Terra Normal maybe. So that way you're only weak to like Fighting or, you know, Terra Electric. I don't know, like something that would be good for just tanking a lot of hits, you know, because I don't think... I don't think this one is... You probably wouldn't terror this if you really wanted to terror it, I guess, but it's more support, so you probably wouldn't be wasting your terror on. Maybe you need to set all these things up, but I don't know. I definitely think that could be a decent support Pokemon. Actually get some pretty good moves, like having Roost, Defog, and Tailwind is actually, it's actually kind of nice. I'm just also thinking, so yeah, this is good for maybe not a lead, but like mid to late game, or definitely mid game, because you want to be getting rid of entry hazards and setting up Tailwinds and stuff like that. So full-on support Pokemon for your team, you could give that one a try. Now, the Decidueye does have 95 in special attack, so he does have some viability to the special side, but we're sort of going into more gimmicky territory here. Not complete memes, but definitely gimmick territory. So like normal Decidueye, it does get Nasty Plot. So we've got Nasty Plot. Now, its most powerful fighting type move on the special side is Focus Blast. However, it does get Aura Sphere. So if you don't want to miss any moves, you could use Aura Sphere. I've given it Energy Ball. It also gets Leaf Storm as well. But of course, after using Leaf Storm, it's going to drop your special attack. So I don't really like that very much unless I'm running choice specs or I've got an item to get rid of it, or, contrary, something like that. I've given this one Terra Blast Rock. That way to get around all the stuff that it's weak to. Now, I've given it Sharp Beak as an item. I actually was going to run Terra Flying on this. So I thought that could be a fun option too. Let me do that. That's why I've got Sharp Beak on there. But you got Sharp Beak or Terra Flying. I thought that could be pretty interesting for a little bit of extra coverage. Maybe against like opposing grass Pokemon or other fighting Pokemon could be interesting. But we're going into more gimmicky territory here. So you could have like lots of different things on a special set. As for the EVs, I've given it max special attack and max speed. I had to give it Timid because it's so slow. You could go bulky, but the problem is if you go too bulky like this, you're probably not going to be able to get your Nasty Plot up and then attack afterwards. You're probably going to get like destroyed. So yeah, a bit of sticky web support for sure. Could definitely be an option. Now, I do want to say one thing. I'm sort of just circling back to the more competitive set. Let's take the Choice Scarf off it for a second. Now, I feel like this could run a viable Trick Room set. I don't see why not. And let me just adjust that. So it's not very fast, right? So you could definitely run those same EVs that I did before, except we'd swap it up to Brave Nature. And then we get rid of all of its, well, obviously we'd want one with 0 IVs or, very, very low, which would be very helpful. So let's say we've got a Trick Room partner. There's a lot of Psychic types that get Trick Room to set up. Hatterene and stuff like that. That could absolutely definitely work with this. So yeah, you've got that going, and that way you can go first. Now, you could have, if you're really worried about getting outspeed, you could have Room Service on there. So that could be a nice item. So when you got the Room Service going, that's going to drop its speed again by 1 stage. That way you'll be able to outspeed all those really, really slow Pokemon, mostly. So that could definitely be something you could go for there. As for its moves, I don't know if I'd actually change these up at all. You could also run this in doubles too. Like if you've got a Trick Room team, if you're running like doubles or VGC, you could definitely go for something like this. Also, conversely, you could use the Bandit and the Scarf set that I explained earlier on in this video for doubles and stuff like that too. I don't think there's too many other options to run it in doubles. I'll give some suggestions as the video goes on. Actually, matter of fact, we'll do it right now. Let's look at this for singles and doubles. Say if we were running a Trick Room set, we'll go into those physical moves. You do have some other options here. It doesn't really get any flinching options. They're mostly like critting. We've also got Brave Bird there as an option. You've got Brick Break there if you're worried about screens. Now, you've got Close Combat there as another option over triple arrows, but you've got 120 base power versus 90. I know you're going to get more damage output from it, but this thing has such good effects on it, especially if you're going to go first. So I'd probably keep triple arrows for anyway. And also you're getting like that drop from Close Combat too. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't be messing around with that. There's not too much else you could use here in doubles. Let me have a quick look at like status moves here. So we've got Bulk Up. Baton Pass. It does have some screens. Yeah, maybe Tailwind for doubles. But that'd be like not a Trick Room set. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much it for Trick Room. If you want to run that, just put another move on there. There could be like absolutely anything. Maybe like Protect or something like that. that would be okay for doubles. So like triple arrows, leaf blade, and knockoff. That'd give it good coverage if you're going to run it under Trick Room. If you're not going to run it under Trick Room and you just want to have that, I don't know, you're either going to have Jolly, Jolly, and we'll adjust the EV so we're not very, very slow. Get rid of room service. So you could have, get rid of that. So protect. And you could have close combat. Like that's an option you might want to have on there if you really, really wanted to have that. Let me put another status move on there. So just looking at doubles here, I think that Tailwind, actually, yeah, that's not bad. So you could have that as adamant. Put the last little bit in special defense or defense. So you've got Tailwind there. This could also work for singles as well. Singles or doubles, VGC, whatever you want to run there. So we've got Tailwind. That'll double the speed, and that way you're going to go very, very fast. Now, as for item, you could have Citrus on there. You could have Lumberry. Heavy duty boots if you're doing singles, no point in doubles. So heavy duty boots you've got there for singles. That's another decent item. I don't mind Citrus Berry on there because you're sort of setting that Tailwind up so you want a little bit of extra bulk. Another move you could possibly put, an item you could possibly put on there is Scope Lens too, because you've got that crit ratio there. So that's one stage. Triple Arrows already has one stage. Leaf Blade already has one stage, so it's not that bad, you know. So you could go like a full critting set too. So sort of, I know I'm sort of going into something else here, but if you want to go for like a fully critting set, that could be the sort of the way to go here as well. All right, anyway, so sort of covered all those sort of things there. We've gone over the special one. It does get bulk up, so you could do a really, really tanky set here. I've got bulk up and Roost as a great combination. Of course, triple arrows, you can't go by that. And I've given this one Terra Blast Fire too, just for sort of coverage against any fire type moves and just for a little bit of different sort of Terra type to trial out. So this will allow me to hit virtually everything, and you know, flying, at least I can go Terra Blast Fire on them and stuff like that. We've got Apricot Berry to boost up your special defense when you're going to get a low health, making you even more bulkier on the special side because bulk up will be fixing your attack and your defense. And we've got Calm Nature as well. So I should change that around to Careful and I had Calm. I think I was meant to have Careful there before. But yeah, you've got Careful Nature there and dropping your special attack and raising your attack up. So sort of like a slow building set with bulk up could definitely work. But once again, you could try lots of Terra types and that Terra Steel. I've talked about them in this video. There's the only sort of ones you'd be using. Now, the last set I've got here is a Meme Trick Room Overgrowth set. You could either run this one as... Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be running this one at all, but if you want an absolute meme and you want to run this under Trick Room or you want to run it outside of Trick Room, you go for it. So we've got Max Attack, Max Special Attack, and Quiet Nature. I've got Overgrowth as the ability, and we've got Triple Arrows, Leaf Blade, Shadow Claw, and Air Cutter. So it's like a mix set. So it actually gets quite a few critting moves. The best ones, of course, are the top two, but you could make use of these moves. And I've given it Terra Flying too. So you've got that Terra Flying Surprise with Air Cutter. And you've got a good chance. You've got like a 50% chance to actually crit the opponent with this. I wonder if it gets Focus Energies. That'd be pretty cool. It doesn't get Focus Energies. That would have been quite cool there. But that's a couple of movesets I suggested here. Now, as for teammates, let me delete a couple of these. So... let's have a look at Steel-type Pokemon, because that wouldn't be all that bad. I was thinking like Steel-type Pokemon and other partners too. Oh, man. Heatran is like the best partner, real talk, for Decidueye. So, obviously, you're going to be facing flying moves here, and you're going to be facing fire. Man, you've got Flash Fire and you've got Steel-type. That's like perfect for it. It's like so good. So that's a very, very nice partner is Heatran. That'll be like #1 partner for sure. Let's have a look at some more Flash Fire Pokemon. See what we got here. I always like to have a look at all options. So we've got Arcanine Hisuian. That's another good one too. Nice. So even if you're not running... even if you're probably not running that could work. So Arcanine Hisuian, normal Arcanine could be good too, a Flash Fire. I was thinking Colossal wouldn't be bad either, like depending on what sort of like moveset or rules and stuff you're making. So Colossal has like, you could sort of like bait them with like a steam engine. That'd be kind of neat. And then we've got the rock type too. So a couple of pretty nice options there. How about dark types? Let's have a look. I'd like to suggest a couple of types. Wow, we got a lot. So thinking here, we got Dark and Steel, which isn't bad for King Gambit, but it is weak to fire. Samurai Hisuian. That's a good one. So Samurai Hisuian isn't all that bad. That could threaten Psychic type Pokemon and Fire type Pokemon as well. So that could be a good, definitely a good partner there. As for Decidueye Hisuian in general, I'm sort of giving my final thoughts here. We'll have a look at some last minute movesets, but I don't think it's got the greatest coverage in the world. It's okay, but it's not incredible. It does get a very, very nice signature move, but once again, its speed stat. Man, I wish its speed stat was higher because it'd be like so much more viable then. Its typing, grass and fighting isn't that great at typing. It's weak to like so many different things, which means you're gonna have to terror a lot with it. It's almost you have to terror. I'm trying to think of like a Pokemon that we really, really rough for it. I don't know, like, it depends. How about, let's check out Fire Pokemon here. It's like a great counter to it. There'd be so many Pokemon that could counter this. Like, let me try to think off the top of my head. Oh, we got any like ghost types? That'd be good. Like, unless they had like knockoff and stuff, Typhlosion. His weight, man, Volcanion would be a pain. I don't know. It sort of depends on what like moveset, like rule set you're versing, but yeah, there's so many counters to this Pokemon. It's not a very hard Pokemon to counter. Just outspeed it, basically, and hit it with a flying move, a fire move, a psychic move. Oh, it's weak to so many different things. I don't know. Its stats are just weird, right? I don't know. They're very, very awkward, strange stats because you've got this nice attack stat, nothing amazing. You've got an okay health stat, and the rest are just kind of like garbage. So, yeah, I still think it's a pretty cool Pokemon. It gets some nice niches, but it isn't, I wouldn't call it the greatest Pokemon in the world. Let me do a quick little look here on all sort of like moves that it gets. Let me just quickly show you there. So we'll have a look at its physical moves. I'll just quickly go through them. So, okay, so we've got a Brave Bird's another option you can go for if you want to give it flying. We've got Brick Break. I don't know if you use Brick Break over Triple Arrows. Close Combat is another option. We've gone over that. Facade Knockoff. Low Kick is another one if you're really worried about like, I don't know, like heavy Pokemon and stuff like that. It does get Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch for priority, so that gives you a somewhat way to, I guess, get around those pesky Psychic Pokemon. Trailblaze, we've gone over that. You can boost your speed. We've gone over the other moves. Nothing really much here. You might be able to go for a Loaded Dice Bullet Seed set if you want a little bit more damage out of a like a grass move, but probably Leaf Blade's going to be outclassing that because you're going to be hitting that 100 base power all the time, and then you're going to be critting. So that's sort of outclassed. As for status moves, let's have a little check of that. It does get Baton Pass, which is pretty cool. So you could be able to Baton Pass Sword Dance if you want to use that option. Baton Pass Bulk Ups. Of course, it depends what sort of, sort of rule set you're playing. Nutty Plot. It actually has some pretty good status moves. To be honest, it's got good status moves. It's really its typing and its stats, and it's got average coverage too. That's kind of let this Pokemon down. Screens. Tailwind, we've gone over most of these. Oh, it does get Taunt. It's a little bit too slow for Taunt in my opinion, but maybe you could use it for Taunt if you really wanted to. But yeah, it's kind of bad. Looking at special moves, once again, very, very limited on the special side. If you're using special Decidueye Hisuian, you're probably doing it for memes. But a couple of options there, mostly grass moves. Oh, it also gets Nitro. That's interesting. You might be able to use that on like a tanky set. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Decidueye. As I mentioned, this Pokemon, it's got some cool niches about it, but the problem is its speed stat, and it's got like these really wonky sort of stats. So it's got a good attack stat, and it's not amazing, and its typing is kind of bad. So most of the time you'd be finding you'd be tearing this Pokemon, but if you can outspeed the opponent and get a good terror, and you've taken out the counters, I feel like it could definitely tear through teams, and Triple Arrows is just like an incredible move. That's absolutely amazing. And, you know, it's got some good high base power moves with it. Not the greatest coverage, but reasonable coverage. And it gets some good support moves too, so it can be used for support. Or if you want to go with like a Sword Dance Sweep, I think we went over those sets. But that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the Decidueye Hisuian guide. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. If you've got any more movesets or stuff you want to add, maybe something I didn't cover, put it below in the comment section, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.